Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome back to another day. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Well to have you here. Nice to have you here. Okay. Welcome back to another day. Of my edition. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain in a Demon. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here on a Sunday where we're going to learn from each other, a Sunday where we're going to have more understanding of what's going on in our surrounding. So that's pretty much what this day is. And I tell you, I am very excited, guys. Very excited. Once I get my motion in the grove, I'll let you know how excited I am because for this topic, I am very, very, very excited to discuss this topic with you guys. Okay, as you can see, the topic is pandemic. Pandemic, and I am very, very, very interested in discuss pandemic with you guys because you know why? Each one teach one, and I also want to learn from you guys as far as what you know, and could keep me safe, my family safe, and also you never know, the rest of the world safe. So that's why today on Sunday, you see on the screen, where today we're talking about the pandemic. But I'm going to get into that in a few. I just want to let you guys come in, chime in, drop your links, mix and mingle. And after that, then we're going to the pandemic, because I tell you, it's a must. It's something to talk about. It's things for us to understand and also of a better view when it comes down to stuff like this. So we know how to, take care of ourselves and also our families as well, because these things are very important, very, very important, very important, guys, very important because the way the world is going today, tomorrow is a different subject, or tomorrow is a different understanding. And that could leave us in a quagmire because we're saying to ourselves, okay, um, I really don't understand what's going on, even though I tried. You're not the only ones because a lot of us try to understand or overstand what's going on, but as you could see, it leave you but nothing with stress. Yeah, because the answer is not there, what we're looking for, and sometimes it could be stressful because in life we normally have answers to what comes along and comes our way, but this time around, there's no answers as far as I'm concerned, and we're left in limbo, and that's the uncertainty that we have to live with today, tomorrow, and maybe years to come. Who knows? You know, but yes, that's the uncertainty that we have to live with right now. Until there's better understanding, there's better analysis, and also there's better proven fact, of what's going on. Until then, we'll still be in a hoopla, walking around in a daze and a maze, because we're trying to figure out, what's going on in this world or where we went wrong. And I tell you, people, don't beat up on yourself, okay? Because this was not something that we did wrong to cause up on us. So just remember, do not beat up on yourself. I know you might have cabin fever. I know you might be just sitting there trying to wonder, what's the next day going to be. I know you might sitting there wondering how you're going to pay your bills. I know you might sitting there wondering all these things, but it's understandable, because we're trying to understand the time that we're living in today. And for the ones who think we're going to get back to a new normal where it's back into that time, I wish you the best of luck. But I also have to always tell you to stay tuned because you know, time is of the master. And I tell you, we're going to see some, devious things in our time, where we have plagues, we have all these different type of bacterias, different types of, you know, what's going on right now, as far as, the CV-19 is concerned. In my opinion, that's a plague, so we're going to see a lot more of these things going on in this generation. So we need just to get to learn these things, adapt, be mindful, and also be grateful if you're not one of those who caught this thing, or if you don't have any family that um, succumb to this plague that we have on Earth right now. You know, guys, when I said to you this morning on my newsletter, I'm going to send out you know this newsletter, and my day and my time was just doing research on pandemic. So it's yet to come. I just want people to get into the chat room, starting to mix and mingle, and guys, just feel free to speak your mind, respectfully, and let's try to learn about these pandemics that comes and plagues this earth. Because if we don't understand these things, then you know what good are we doing? You know what I mean? So we have to get an understanding and a broaden horizon of what's going on. You know, because guys, I have some things to tell you upcoming in the segment that I'm sure a lot of you guys might know already, but I'm just trying to stay informative and keep it 100 to all of you guys as far as what's going on, and how we could try to stay safe, and just each one teach one, and do the best and do what's right. We're living in a pandemic moment. Just remember that, okay? We're in a pandemic moment, okay? And the moment that we're in um, is lack of analogy, it's lack of data, you know, it's lack of all these things that could keep us going as far as our mind is concerned, just to keep us at bay. So with this pandemic, lack of all this information, no, this is where I see where the confusion just becoming a big, a big, big, big hoopla, and I do understand, the people out there who are confused, just like myself, because we try to understand, we try to learn. Hey, thumbs up for you guys. Come on in. If you're coming in, thumbs up. Thumbs up for the host. Don't forget, like, share the stream. Don't be afraid. Tell your friend to tell your friend to tell another friend. Chronic Pain is on, and stay tuned and tune in to Chronic Pain. Subscribe and share the links. Give me a thumbs up and leave your comments as well. And also, guys, don't forget, Chronic Pain now, I work up to where I have my super chats, so you guys can come on in. You could be a member. Also, you could give a super chat for the machine here just to keep it going, because to keep the machine going, it takes, finance and a lot of different attributes to keep it going. So please, don't be afraid to become a member. Don't be afraid to subscribe, okay? Because this channel is a learning channel, and we are going to teach you on this channel, okay? So that's why we're here, and that's one of the reasons why I formed this channel, so each one could teach one, and we can learn about all these new things and all these other things that's going on in our lives that we need to, be aware of, and just to be more assertive and more understanding. All right. So with all that said, guys, I think I was just going through. Hello, how are you? Nice to have you here. Hey, Wise, nice to have you here. I have you as a moderator now. So you could drop your link, and just get to know the crew that's in um, the chat room. Mix and mingle, and feel free, just to drop your opinion, and say what you have to say, because just remember, your opinion matters. Okay, your opinion matters. It matters to me, and I'm sure it matters to a lot of people out there, okay, that are listening to YouTube, that stay tuned to YouTube, and want to be a part of YouTube. Okay, so your opinion matters to us. I won't be doing much of a drop in the links, because I want to get to what I want to get to. So guys, just mix and mingle, share your links, and I'll support you the best I can, and just make sure that we do it accordingly. Okay, so don't be afraid to drop your links. Mix and mingle. Get in the chat room, because what we have to talk about today is what? Pandemic. Okay, that's the topic today. Pandemic. Okay, so just remember, chronic pain dealer demon. You know, Raymond Nugent, aka chronic pain dealer demon. All right. So guys, are you ready? Let's get into it. All right. Happy Sunday to everyone. Happy Sunday to everyone. So yes, guys, we have been seeing of over a year the H1N1 that becomes a plague on this earth. You know, it's been known as CV-19, and we saw what happened to us and what happens to a lot of people as far as the sickness and how people succumb to this kind of plague. So yes, so let's go back a couple of hundred years ago in 1918. Okay, it was one of the first time that we actually came aware of one of these kind of pandemic. Okay, 1918. All right, and that pandemic um, was the Spanish flu, which I know some of you guys already know. That pandemic was the Spanish flu, and in that time, the world was going through chaotic, moments. I'll get to that in a few. But the Spanish flu, I tell you, it wreaks havoc on this earth. Okay, it wreaks havoc on this earth. And within the time of the Spanish flu, we had World War One. Okay, we had World War One in the time of the Spanish flu. So can you imagine the amount of people succumbed to the Spanish flu in that time? A lot of them were military. Because one of the first one that got traced for the Spanish flu was a military officer. From my understanding. And then so long. You know, and then it goes along. On I think, from my understanding, 1919. Okay, yeah, that was the first case in the United States, and of the Spanish flu. We're talking about a flu that's worse than the COVID-19. That's one of the reasons why you see me on the line today, guys. We have pandemic. Okay, so the Spanish flu was actually a little bit worse than the CV-19 so far. So far, let's just say so far. Okay, but the Spanish flu killed a tremendously amount of people. All right, um, worldwide, from what they documented, the Spanish flu killed more than 500 million people. Okay, excuse me. It killed more than 500 million people worldwide, the Spanish flu. Okay? In the United States, the Spanish flu killed about 675 people. Okay? So that was one of the first big pandemic that we have, that we already put on notice, on paper, and documented in that time. Okay, but the infectious rate was so devastated. Young kids, from age, few months to a year old, stuff like that. It created havocs on them. You know, and I tell you, from just going through the history and looking at the Spanish flu, I get to understand a lot about what's going on, because sometimes they say, in order for you to understand what's going on, you have to go backwards to go forward. You know, so yes, I did my research on the Spanish flu and some of these flus, because one of the reasons why I did my research, guys. Yes, we have all these companies now with the vaccine on board to treat COVID-19. Okay, but there's no one on board right now to conquer it, as far as end it. Okay, so we have the support, but we don't have what to end it. And that's, to me, is a little nerve wracking. Because that tells me that CV-19 is going to be around for some years. The Spanish flu. I mean, yes, we got to get rid of it, eventually, but it took time. A lot of effort, a lot of research. But like I said, in the USA, it was over 675,000 people, infected. Worldwide, we had over 50 million people succumb to wounds from the Spanish flu, and that was very treacherous to us. Okay, so that's the Spanish flu, right? Now we're going to move up into 1955. Okay, 1955. Just remember that year. 1955 is when the polio came around. 1955 is when the polio came around. We managed to manufacture a vaccine for the polio to slow down, what it caused, because the polio, it affects, the brain. The polio affects the spinal cords. The polio causes paralysis. So that was one of the last vaccine that we worked on back in 1955, coming up to like about in the 70s. Okay, with the poliomyelitis. If any of you guys old enough to know about the poliomyelitis, then you can understand what I'm trying to say. All right. So that one was tremendously a fact to us. Hey guys, nice to see you in the chat room. Mix and Mendel, have a great time. Chronic pain here. I love to have you guys here, and I tell you, this is an amazing topic, and I want to get you guys feedback and also your education as well. So each one could teach one, and we could become a better people's society. Okay, so pretty much that's what chronic pain is here for today. All right, so let's get back to what I'm trying to say. In 1955, that's when the poliomyelitis was actually become aware, to the public, the CDC, and all these medical entities, right? And like I said, the polio back then, it was affecting kids, 2 months old, 4 months old, 6 months old, all the way up to 6 years, because the way it affects us, it was neurological, the spinal cord, stuff like that, the brain, cause, paralysis and stuff like that. One of the reasons why I'm doing this today, guys, I just want all of you guys to be mindful of the time that we're living in, and what's going on. For the ones who haven't got it as yet, I really want you to understand and be safe and be protective. Okay. All right. 1 second. Let me get my, I have a lot of people here that want to be in the chat room. So I have to add them as moderators and do what's right, for the channel and for all my supporters as well. So guys, just pardon me for a second. I just have to add some moderators, So yes, guys. So the polio vaccine, I tell you, it worked wonders. It works wonders, because I remember as a youth growing up and seeing what, it was causing, and then realizing what, the vaccine was doing as far as stabilizing human beings. I tell you, it is just remarkable, when I look at what's going on right now. Okay. So, guys, one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about this today is because the CV-19, you have to understand, in my opinion, is here to stay for a while. Maybe a short while, maybe a long while. Who knows, But these kind of plagues, they torment this earth for a while. So this is not going to be a fast fix, okay? Because we have to understand one thing. We have AstraZeneca, we have Johnson & Johnson, we have Moderna, we have Pfizer. Some of those doses are 1, some of those doses are 2. You know what I mean? To treat, that's a key word. to treat, okay, but not to cure. You understand me? To treat, but not to cure. So, nevertheless, we're going to have these kind of plagues around us for quite a while. Nevertheless, we have to say to ourselves, you know, with the bits and pieces that we learn from these doctors, these administrators, all these politicians that try to tell us something. Is it fear that they're instilling us, or is it knowledge? Once again, is it fear that they're instilling us, or knowledge? Because everything have its benefits, everything have a price. So we need to understand what's really going on if we're trying to move forward. Thank you for the super chat, man. Hey guys, don't forget, we have a super chat here. You could give a super chat. You could subscribe to the machine. Um, you could become a member of the machine, because it helps me to buy more stuff, more hardware, more software, more lighting, everything for the channel to keep it growing to the way we want to see it, because we want to take this channel um, far along this way. I want to take this channel to hyperspace, okay? Hyperspace, world beyond this world. That's where I want to take my channel. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm very protective and I'm very adamant about my channel because it means a lot to me. The people that I support on this channel means a lot to me. My subscribers means a lot to me. Everybody means a lot to me here. So therefore, I'm going to do what I have to do. As far as protecting this platform. So I don't follow no one else with what they do. I don't follow no one else with their narratives. I don't follow no one else with their beliefs. You know, I just do my own thing on my channel. You know, just to keep it growing and also to give people an understanding. Okay, I live with chronic pain, and that's what I deal with on a daily basis. That's what I talk about mostly. But my subscribers that are living in chronic pain, I mean, they have heard me talk about chronic pain so many times. But I could still do it in different ways. But it's yet to come. Guys. So don't feel left out for all my friends in chronic pain. All my subscribers, my supporters. I'm still here for you. I am not going anywhere. We're here to stay. All right. But we have to understand in this new life, our new light, we're living amongst, a great, um, I should say, disturbing um, plague, you know, and we have to learn how to deal with it, pretty much learn how to accept it. Because once you accept the plague, you learn how to deal with the plague, you know. So pretty much learn how to accept it and move forward in life. Because once you accept it, then you're going to take the precaution that you need to take. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be more mindful of yourself, of your surrounding, of your family, of your friends, of your workplace in general. You know what I'm saying? So yes. So this is a time where we have to be mindful because things are happening at a fast pace, and if we don't pay attention, we could be in the long haul for a big disappointment. Yeah. So guys, please, and ladies as well, pay attention to this world. Pay attention about what's going on. Don't live and think you could just laugh about things and it'll go away because that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. See, our society, we're not really used to, a great and a crazy pandemic. because our society, we've been here living freely and with no interruptions. So, we didn't really. Some historians and a lot of people that reads, did their studies, but for people like myself, we didn't really get into the H1N1, disease or plagues until CV-19 came around. So we have to move backward to understand that in 1918 was the first one of the pandemics that we recorded, which was the Spanish flu. It creates havoc on this earth, and like I said, we lost over 50 million people to the Spanish flu. In the United States, we lost about 670,000 people as well. Okay, so the Spanish flu creates havoc and hurt. In World War One, a lot of the military operatives, they came down with the Spanish flu, and it's something that they had to deal with, even though we wish it wasn't here because, like I said earlier, the Spanish flu it tackles the brain, also the spinal cord, and then it becomes where you have paralysis, and it creates a havoc for you to move around. Hey guys, thank you for being here. Thank you very much for being here. My pleasure to have you guys here. Okay, my pleasure. All right. So yes, guys, moving forward with the CV-19, I understand the vaccines are here and they're here to stay. Just look at the flu, all right? For example, the flu. Every year you have to get vaccinated for the flu, right? Just to prevent you from catching or prevent you from catching the worst case of the flu, all right? CV-19, in my opinion, could be the same protocols that we have to follow as far as every year you got to get a shot for CV-19 so it could prevent you from getting it, you know. And this is just my opinion. Okay. Hey guys in the chat room, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you for having you here. You see what I'm saying? So, what are we going to do? You know, because there's no cure. That's the bottom line, people. There is no cure. Nobody's talking about a cure. Okay. No one is talking about a cure. All these pharmaceutical companies, what are they talking about? Treatment. Because treatment, you could go on for years with treatment, and that cha-ching, cha-ching, okay, creates a lot of money for these pharmaceutical companies that treats us. You see what I'm saying? For example, if you could cure cancer, all these oncologists, they'll be out of work, right? Once again, if we could cure cancer, all these oncologists will be out of work, right? Now look at CV-19. If we can cure CV-19, all these companies that invest so much money, it'll become a loss. You don't have to agree with me, but just listen, okay? So with all that said, none of these companies are here to render a loss. It's all about a gain, capital gaining. You see what I'm saying? So CV-19 becomes a slush fund to a lot of companies. You know, yes, let me say it again. CV-19 becomes a slush fund for a lot of companies. You know, um, if you ask me if I agree with them, my answer is, hey, it's investments, it's capitalism. America was built on capitalism, and that's my answer. But the way they go about it is different. The analytics, the data, all these things are manipulated to where we just became just a lost soul. And that's where I see where it's just totally against humanity because um, even though you're trying to capitalize, but at least let me get the understanding of what I'm going through or what's there to come, so I'll know which way to turn. Give me a choice, you know. But in this dilemma, we really don't have much choices, you know. We really don't because with the CV-19, and if we don't really take the test or take the shots, there are going to be stipulations, and you have to say to yourself, do I want to be that guy or do I want to be that lady? You know, to fall into those stipulations. Where you can't travel, you can't work, you can't invest, you know, um, you can't get a promotion, you know, um, just alteration of your daily lives, you know, that could become so stubborn that could frustrate us. You can't get a driver's license renewed. We don't know what's to come because everything right now it becomes artificial intelligence, IT, everything right now is becoming artificial intelligence. That's what they're working on right now. All these things becoming artificial intelligence. So, with years to come, we don't even have to open our mouth because they could scan your body and tell what's in your anatomy. And they just can't read the brain, they mimic the brain with a CPU on the computer, a central processing unit. It works fabulously, but it still can't mimic the brain because the brain is something you can't really replicate it, in your form the way you want it to, because the brain is something special, one of the most special things that the man above ever really gave us, because he actually, let us know that utilizing your brain, makes you more of a, understanding person, and you're more relaxed, and you're just more entwined with life, and you know your family and friends, and you know what I mean. Just get you going, and that's pretty much what it's all about. Just to get you going and get you over those humps. Where you could become a better productive person. A better person in society. A better person. Within yourself. And hopefully that you could also have a better understanding. You know what I mean? So yes, guys. Like I mentioned before, H1N1. The first time we saw this kind of catastrophe, it was in 1918. You know, and that was the Spanish flu. All right, Spanish flu. It came around. It killed people in the thousands. Thousands. You know, from what they're saying, over 50 million people. So they killed people in the millions. Let me rephrase that: millions, 50 million, and in the United States, 675 million. But the first people that were detected with that Spanish flu was a military operative, because I guess they travel, back and forth. And, he caught the virus, somehow. But he was the first person, to be tested and tested positively for the Spanish flu. So bear in mind, you know, this is not the first time that we have a pandemic, for the ones who don't know. Bear in mind, this is not the first time, okay? As I said earlier, after the Spanish flu, the other serious pandemic we saw was the poliomyelitis. That's the correct word for it, poliomyelitis. All right. So after the Spanish flu, we came around with the poliomyelitis. That was in my era, I've grown up, and I tell you, that was so frightening, for a young person like myself to see. It was just so devastating. It was nerve wracking. At the time, growing up, I didn't really know much about mental, stress and stuff like that because we weren't taught that at a young age, so we didn't know nothing about that. We just thought we were just like, over, just exhausted. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when the poliomyelitis came in, I remember clearly I was in school and we all have to get in a line, as students in a straight line. So we go one by one to take the vaccine of the poliomyelitis, you know. And I have to say to you guys, um, within that time, I think I took it in 1977 or maybe 78. And after that, guys, I really didn't hear no more about the poliomyelitis as far as what I can catch and what I can't catch. So, in essence, that vaccine worked miracles for us, in that time with the poliomyelitis. Okay. So, with all that said, I am wishing and I am hoping that these vaccine that's coming out right now, they could work wonders for us with the CV-19. They could help us to, lower the rate when it comes on to the death. They could help us to lower the rate when it comes on to sickness and health. And also, they could help us to understand and have a better quality of life and go on with life. Because God knows people have been in their house for over a year, trapped, in dismay, disbelief, that just don't know what's going on. You know, Listening to the news, today you'll hear this, tomorrow you'll hear that. So it brings a lot of confusion, which I do understand. You know, I do understand. But if you're a news listener, learn how to dissect the news. Learn how to use the news to your best ability. Just don't take all these sound bites for granted and let them ruin your lives. Okay, do your research, do your investigation, and it'll put you more at ease. You know, because chronic pain, demon, I tell you, I've done a lot of research. I have books, tremendous amount of books that I do a lot of research. I take notes. I write like there's no tomorrow. Because I want to be factual and I also want to be a person to understand and a person that you could learn from. Also, I would like to be a person could learn from you as well. So I have to bring you the facts, you know. So yes, my friends, chronic pain, the inner demon here, another segment, real name, Raymond Nugent. We're talking about the H1N1 and the first time we saw this type of plague in the United States. Around the world, I really don't have the total analogy of around the world. So I could only speak of America because I have the data in front of me, and I also have the analytics that could drive me around what I'm trying to say. You know, so yes, guys. So in 1918, just remember that 1918, okay, was the first time we saw something called the flu. All right, and just bear in mind, every year right now, we have to take vaccines for the flu, just to keep it down, so we won't be infected by it or it cause, a demise or a very slow down process. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at CV-19, you have to say to yourself, how long is it going to be here? Do I have to take this thing on a yearly basis? You know, what are you succumbing to? You know, do your own investigation, do your own research, you know, before you make a decision. All right. And just remember, with all that said, I mean, you will have a better peace of mind knowing what you decide for, you know. So yes, guys. So the poliomyelitis in the 1900s, it became an epidemic. Okay, let me say it again. The poliomyelitis in the 1900s, it became an epidemic, right? And then the research on the earth shows that the epidemic was starting in Europe, right? Once again, the research shows that the epidemic was starting in Europe. That's the poliomyelitis, you know. The world fought it, and I think they did the best they could. And the poliomyelitis, minimized to where people could live and have a decent life. Not to say that some people didn't go through a very hard time with the poliomyelitis, because you have families out there, you have kids out there that went through severe, severe hard time with the poliomyelitis. And my heart goes out to you guys because that was in my era. You see what I'm saying? That was in my era. My heart goes out to you. But the world evolves. Technology, science, everything moving forward. So now we have this other pandemic on us, and it's just reminding us of what we went through. In the '60s, the '70s, the 1900s. If people on Earth that lived that long could talk about it. So yes, guys. So these pandemics, they come around, but they do come around in spurts. Maybe once every 10, 20 years, you'll find these things come around. But nevertheless, this is a plague, in my opinion. This is a plague, because mankind cannot understand. Mankind cannot collect data like the way they want to. Mankind don't feel at ease. Mankind is so disturbed because of this new H1N1, aka COVID-19. A lot of places are opening up in the United States. I don't know about the other parts of the world, but you know, I must say, are we doing it for the business people who are trying to make money, or are we doing it for the consumers who are just trying to live a normal life? You have to understand something in life. When you tease a person, when you tease people, they're going to fall for it. Okay? Some people are going to fall for it. So when you keep opening all these stores and everything, yes, it's a tease because you know why? I haven't been out in so long. So of course I'm going to be teased to go out and see what's going on because it's been 8, 9, 10 months I've been locked down. So what's going on right now is a teased. Okay, so don't misconstrue a tease between opening. All right, you still have to wear your mask. Even though if you got the shot, they still recommend you to wear the mask because we don't know, they don't know. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I call a tease at the moment, you know. And until all this is over, and I hope we can get a better understanding, then I would say to my friends and my followers, hey, go have a good time, you know. But what we're seeing right now is a tease. You know what I mean? Gas prices is going up, the stock market is going up, retail is going up, hiring is going up, you know, because the vaccine are here with that teased, you know. The world knows that we go off impulse in what we do, most of us, because most of us are not thinkers. Most of us go off impulse. And that's where we have to change that narrative, to become thinkers. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Become thinkers instead of impulse decisioners. You know? Let me say it again. A lot of us need to become thinkers instead of impulse decisioners, you know, and that could make us better people in this world, you know, a better society, you know, better human beings, you know, where we could achieve, you know, what we need to achieve and what we're supposed to achieve. You see what I'm saying? Companies on board. I hope and pray that there is some ending, you know, along the way. But so far, all I hear about is treatments, no cure. And that's where I kind of get a little adamant about what's going on, you know? Because if you could do it within a year and make some treatments for CV-19, maybe within 2 years you can find a cure. If you push as hard as you push to get the treatment, don't you think you could find a cure? As hard as you push, as much as you said technologies lead the way and how advanced we are, don't you think if you push a little bit harder, we could find a cure? But the question is, do you want to find a cure? Not now, not yet. See, these are the things that we have to tell ourselves as human beings. These are the things that we need to look at as human beings and try to understand as human beings. And then we'll come to, you know, rational conclusions, you know? Yeah, we will come to, you know, rational conclusions, you know? Because going back with the poliomyelitis, if the vaccine weren't here for that, what would the world look like today? I don't know. Going back to the Spanish flu, if they didn't have a vaccine, what would the world look like today? I don't know. So moving forward with CV-19, with the vaccine, what's the world going to look like? It's yet to see. Okay? It's yet to see. In medicine, there's a thing that called trial and error. Okay? Trial and error. That's in medicine. That's medicine's term. Because sometimes if the science or the data doesn't fit, then you have to quit. But some doctors or some surgeons are stubborn. And that's where you get errors sometimes, you know. But guys, you know, like I say, you know, we just need to be more mindful, be more observant, read a little bit more, okay? Do some research, all right? To put your heart at ease. Because the analytics is there, especially the older analytics is there. You just have to do some research and gather your thoughts and, you know, say to yourself, okay, what do you believe? But when you read, it gives you a better understanding. So when it comes down to your belief, then you won't have to question your belief that much because you have a better understanding. See what I'm saying? A better understanding, you know? So yes, guys, and that's where I'm going to leave that when it comes down to the pandemic and the epidemics, you know, around the world and in America, because my channel we deal with other people as well. My channel was built on people what they call a chronic pain, people that are in chronic pain. So my friends who are in chronic pain, I know you're listening. You know, I have to go off base for a second. You know, pardon me. You know, I like to take on different topics because all these topics are chronic pain because they've been happening over and over and over, just like slavery. They're chronic pain, you know? So, yes, for my friend in chronic pain out there, wherever you are, how are you? I hope you guys are doing great today on a Sunday. I hope you guys are finding some way to alleviate your pain. I hope you guys are out with family, having fun like you're supposed to. You see what I'm saying? Because chronic pain, the flare ups could drive us crazy. So whenever you find time to enjoy and unwind and have fun, please enjoy it. All right. And if you're living in a cold environment, just remember, like I told you in the last videos, there are the malls that are open up. The malls are open up at 6 in the morning. You can go in the mall and walk around and build your endurance and work on your muscles and just get you where you want to be mindfully, and give you that relief. You see what I'm saying? Because chronic pain could brings on mental stress, and that's just added, sore to the wound that we already have, and that's just going to break out, into a big mess, you know. So for all my friends in chronic pain, don't let it turn into a big mess. Just take it day by day. Do your exercise. If you could walk, just walk. If you could swim, it would be nice. Go ahead and have a swim. It helps your back. It helps your chronic pain. If you could go to the gym and do light weights, so be it. Go to the gym and do light weights. All these things help. All these things help under the umbrella. You know what I mean? Walking is one of the main things. Just to loosen up the nerves, glide the nerves, because the scar tissue in the back is creating a havoc. So you have to grind that nerve to work that tissue so you could shift it, so it could come off where that nerve sensation is and alleviate some of your pain. All these things I learned on my own. Some of them, well, I shouldn't say all these things. Most of them I learned on my own. Um, some of them I've been told by therapists. Some of them I've been told by doctors. Some of them I've been told by psychologists. So yes, guys. So all these people are in my corner. So what I'm trying to explain to you is not from somebody on the street. It's from people who are dealing with medicine and the same situation that we're all in. Because I tell you, when they told me that I was going to develop neuropathy, I had to do some research on neuropathy, right? And neuropathy is similar to arthritis, right? Creates the same kind of havoc. I mean, I'm sure the pain is the same because it's neurological. And I was saying to myself at the time, ah, I'm too young. Arthritis, please. Doc, I would never develop, maybe when I'm 70. Hey, enough said. I developed neuropathy years ago, because the doctor told me, and so said, so done, But I had to learn how to deal with it, I have to learn not to let it control my life, control my quality of life, control my well-being, and control the person who I am, you know. So yes, a lot of things in this world, it's a learning process. And then when you get older, you say to yourself, am I in the mood to learn all these things? Because you're older now, right? Time change, things change. We have to continue to learn. That's the only way we're going to survive and keep going over the hump. We have to continue being learners. A great listener becomes a good learner. Just remember that, okay? A great listener becomes a wonderful learner, and you can take that from them because they remember and because they understand and they understand what you were saying, so they could recite it back to you, so vocally because they were staying tuned, you know. So that's why a great listener becomes a great learner, you know. Sometimes, people misconstrue a great listener. They look at you and say, "Why are you so quiet?" I'm trying to listen, you know, in order for me to learn. But that's just the way it is. Society look at it differently sometimes. But yeah, a great listener becomes a good learner, you know. Yes, guys, Raymond Nugent here coming to you live another day from home. My channel, aka Chronic Pain Inner Demon. I want you guys to subscribe to my channel. I want you to share the channel. I want you to leave a comment. I want you to tell a friend about my channel. Um, and I also want you to become a member. And don't be afraid to give a super chat as well. Because I have super chats on my channel where you can give a super chat, and it helps out the machine to grow and become stronger and better. Because all these super chats and all these donations goes towards the channel, to work it and makes it a better channel where I could have better views, better lightings, better atmosphere, a better place to bring forth the real deal about chronic pain, the inner demon. So, guys, don't be afraid to subscribe. Okay, don't be afraid to be a member. Okay, don't be afraid to drop your links and unwind with chronic pain. All right, don't be afraid because I'm here. All right, I'm here. And I'm a good listener. In my opinion. So I'm here to listen, and I'm also here to learn because that's just pretty much what gets us over certain humps. You know, over certain humps. So yes, guys, I hope you guys like the show today that we talk about when it comes on to pandemic. I hope you learned something from pandemic today. I don't know if I'll be doing pandemic too. I would have to do more research. Then I'll get back to you. I'll let you know if I'm doing pandemic too. But it's something in the mind that I'm thinking about. But I have to have the data, the analytics, all these things to bring forth to you, and also the facts. You know, yeah. So for this coming week, I might do some research more in pandemic and also epidemic, and I might come to you live another day. No promises. Where I conclude this segment as a part two of pandemic, because at a time like this, we need to learn about pandemic. We need to learn about epidemics. We need to learn how they spreads, and we need to learn how to control them and how to deal with them. You know, because you have to say to yourself, it's your livelihood, it's my livelihood. You know, so that's why we have to learn. Because when you look at all these things and you weigh them, do you want to give away your livelihood for certain things? No, this is your livelihood right here, okay? And you're going to be like, no, right? And this is the pandemic, an epidemic. So you're going to learn. You're going to come down to this right here. You're going to learn. You're not going to meet it here. You're going to meet it here, So you're going to learn about, what's going on, you know? So you understand it, you know, you're being more mindful, and you're more inquisitive. And, with all that said, you could save yourself and your family. Then you move back up here, you know, but you have to learn it from down here first, you know. So, yes, guys. So, with all my friends, all my subscribers, all the ones that check it in the chat room, hey guys, how are you? Kudos to you. Thank you for chat. Thank you for in the chat room. The chat room looks so lively. Thank all you guys that coming through. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, because today on a Sunday, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And by me researching the Spanish flu, researching the polio, it gave me some insights of what I need to talk about today. So, I formed a body around that, and it works out well. It works wonders because I have a lot of analytics, here, details, as far as it concerned, from Wikipedia, on Google as well. So yes, guys, the first detection of Spanish flu was in a military operative, and this was in 1918. You know, the Spanish flu came to America 1919 when it came to America, where they started having these cases. And don't forget, the Spanish flu killed over 500 million people, and in the United States, over 607,500 people. Okay. But the flu itself is another thing that we need to look about because from what they're saying, the regular flu, kills thousands a year, maybe over 30,000, you know. So that's something else we need to look at the flu and also the vaccine for the flu. Is it similar to what we're getting right now for CV-19? Is it going to be continuous, just like we get the vaccine for the flu? If the vaccine for CV-19 is going to be continuous, like we're getting for the flu, we need to know. You see what I'm saying? So all of you pharmaceutical people out there, all of you people out there that are talking, let us know if it's going to prolong in our lives. We're on an annual basis, we're going to have to get these vaccines. Just let us know and try to give us a peace of mind. And with all that said, guys, I thank you for being here. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you. If you learned something today, it's my pleasure. And once again, I don't know if I'll do vaccine two, or I don't know if I'll do pandemic two, but I'll do some research and I'll get back to you guys in my forum and I'll let you know if I consider to go along with pandemic part two. Okay, because this is a very important topic, very important subject, very delicate. And when you do these subjects and these topics, you have to have the analytics in front of you so you could speak the truth about what's going on so people can learn from what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? So, guys, I always say each one teach one. And before I go, what I always say, who feels it knows it. Peace. Thank you for enjoying my show. See you again. Peace.